Hello everyone, this is your host Psych Science. One of the biggest problems for people around the world as of right now is that we're not able to get proper sleep, which is really bad because it has drastic effects on your health. So what I'm going to do is give you 7 simple tips that will make sure that you fall asleep like a baby. And I'm not going to include stupid tips like don't drink alcohol, caffeine or consume nicotine before you go to sleep, because all that is pretty well known and just common sense. Well, if you didn't know all this, well, now you know it, so let's get started. Tip number 1, get proper exposure to sunlight in the morning. You see, when you expose yourself to sunlight, your body uses sunlight's natural frequencies to produce vitamin D3, which is an essential vitamin which is used by your body to create serotonin, which is also known as the feel-good neurotransmitter. Now, if you're wondering why serotonin is important to sleep, well, it's because your body uses serotonin and converts it into melatonin, and melatonin is the hormone that makes you fall asleep. Well, now you might also plan to take vitamin D3 supplements, but it turns out that your body still requires sunlight to use that vitamin D3 supplement, as your body starts using vitamin D3 only when your circadian rhythm starts, and your circadian rhythm starts when you're exposed to sunlight. And if you didn't know the meaning of circadian rhythm, here you go. Tip number 2, eat tryptophan-rich food. Our body uses a protein known as tryptophan along with vitamin D3 to produce serotonin. This protein is not only required in a large amount, so you can get these proteins by eating simple foods like rice, almonds and quinoa for lunch and dinner. And here's a list of other tryptophan-rich foods. Tip number 3, avoid junk light. So now you might be wondering, what is junk light? Well, it's the blue light which is emitted by your phone, laptop, CFL, LED bulbs and tube lights. Your eyes contain special light sensors that control your sleep timing, alright? These sensors become activated at the frequency of 480 nanometers, which is in the blue spectrum. So when your eyes are exposed to blue light, it signals your brain not to produce the hormone melatonin, which is required for you to go to sleep. Now, what is the solution to this? I don't expect you to remove all your tube lights and bulbs and replace it with halogen bulbs, but what I do expect you to do is replace your tube lights in your bedroom and washroom with red LED lights, as red LED lights will not stop your body from producing melatonin and will actually promote melatonin production as red light mimics sunset. Tip number 4, upgrade your technology. As I explained in tip number 3 about how blue light is emitted by your phone, laptop and TV and how it adversely affects your sleep and makes you sleep deprived, we can avoid this by upgrading our technology. In case of Android devices, you can download an app known as Phych, or you can use Twilight, which replaces the blue light with red light. And in Apple devices, if you have iOS 10, you can just put in a red filter by going to settings, and if you don't have iOS 10, then all you can do is reduce the brightness to the least, and while browsing you can use this app known as Koala, which adds in a red filter. And for your laptop or PC, it can be either Mac, Windows or Android, you can just install Phych into it, and I will put a link into the description so that you can download it. Tip number 5, making sleep caves. So what I want you to do is transform your bedroom into a sleep cave. To do this, you want to use dark or black curtains, reducing the amount of light coming from your windows. If left unattended, the junk light coming from your window can actually affect your sleep and make it difficult for you to fall asleep. As tip number 6, use the box method. At times before we go to sleep, there are constant thoughts of worries either about past or future. We constantly know that these thoughts won't help us out in any way and it's just a hindrance, and we want those thoughts to stop, but we often don't know how to do it, due to which we have a horrible night. That's why a famous biohacker known as Dave Asprey invented this box method, through which we can reduce the secretion of cortisol, the stress hormone, and also make this unnecessary thought stop. And this is how you do it. In order to perform the box method, what we need to do is to imagine that we are drawing a box using our index finger. So when you imagine yourself drawing the first line of the box, you have to take a deep breath in for 5 seconds or more, and then hold your breath for the next 5 seconds, and then breathe out for the next 5 seconds, then hold for another 5 seconds. So I would suggest you to perform 10 reps of the box method, and I can guarantee you that you'll fall asleep. So what actually happens is, when you perform the box method, is that you message that part of your brain which keeps worrying to shut the hell up, because the part of your brain that keeps worrying is most worried about your breath. And when you actually perform the box method, you let that part know that you are the boss. Tip number 7, switch off your gadgets. You see, we have these tiny rod-like bacteria present in our cells known as mitochondria, also known as the powerhouse of our cells. Just to let you know how important these guys are, let me put this into perspective. You can live without food for 7 days and without water for 3 days. Without the energy produced by mitochondria, you can't live even for 3 seconds. And not only that, they take control of how you even feel, as these guys control your hormone factories. Now that we have understood how important mitochondria is, it turns out that these mitochondrial cells are all semiconductors, as they produce electricity. Interesting fact, the electrons that are produced by a mitochondria to power our body are the same electrons that power your phone. Our phones produce electromagnetic frequencies which, when come in contact with the mitochondrial cells, disrupt the communication between them to produce the hormone melatonin, due to which doctors who treat insomnia suggest you to put your phones on airplane mode and turn off your Wi-Fi modem so that they don't affect your mitochondria, and it's worth doing it for you to get a good night's sleep. To summarize what we have learned, get proper exposure to sunlight in the morning so that your body can produce vitamin D3, eat tryptophan rich food so that your body can produce serotonin, which will then be used to produce melatonin. Tip number 3, avoid junk light. We need to avoid blue light coming from our phone, CFL bulbs, etc., as they have a frequency about 480 nanometers, which signals your brain to stay awake. Replace your fluorescent tube lights and bulbs in your bedroom with red LED lights. Tip number 4, upgrade your technology. Download Flux or Twilight on your Android devices. Download Flux for your laptop or PC, download Koala for iPad and iPhone, and reduce the brightness. All links in the description. Tip number 5, make a sleep cave. Use dark or black curtains so that you can avoid junk light coming from outside, and be sure to install red LED lights in your bedroom and washroom. Tip number 6, use the box method to sleep well. Tip number 7, switch off your Wi-Fi modem and put your phone and tablet on aeroplane mode to avoid EMFs. Hope you all will be able to use these tips as effectively as possible so that you can sleep like a boss. If you like my content, please do make sure that you subscribe to my channel and keep being awesome.